today we are dealing with the topic minerals, and by the end of this video you will be able to differentiate between the different kinds of minerals. Okay, you'll be able to inform us how minerals can be identified, what are the different types and where they are available. So as you know, every day everyone uses products made from minerals. Okay, from the salts that we have to different kinds of medicines to jewelry, okay, to using your pencil or your pen, to the paint that you use to draw, to even the electronic gadgets that you're using, the house you're living in, the roads you're walking in, the vehicle that you all are driving or your parents are driving. Everything is sourced from minerals. So, what are minerals? In order for a substance to be defined as a mineral, that substance must meet 5 requirements. Okay? Number 1, it should be solid. That means it is not a liquid or a gas at standard temperature and pressure. So water is not a mineral because it is a liquid, but ice is a mineral because it is solid. Okay? Number 2, it should be inorganic. That means the substance is not made by an organism. Wood, pearls are made by organisms, isn't it? Wood is derived from plants, pearls are derived from organisms. So they are not minerals. Number 3, they should be naturally occurring. That means people should not have made it. So children, iron is a mineral, but steel is not a mineral because steel has been made by human beings. It is an alloy. Then it should have a definite chemical composition. That means that all occurrences of that mineral have a chemical composition that changes within a specific limited range. Okay, so sometimes extreme heat like a volcanic eruption or the magma in the center of the earth, okay, that leads to the melting down of different rocks, leading to the formation of minerals. And lastly, it should have a crystalline form. It should have the atoms within it arranged in a systematic and a repeating pattern. As a result of that, it will look like a crystal. It may be shiny or not, but it has got structures like crystals. So these are the features which need to be present for a substance to be identified as a mineral. As you know, minerals are generally used as a vital raw material for most of the basic industries and for energy for machineries also. Now, how are minerals identified? There are different ways in which minerals are identified. Okay, it depends on their physical properties, how they look, how they feel, what is the color like, whether it is shiny or not shiny, whether it is heavy or light, whether it has a particular shape or is it irregular, whether it has one particular color or some other color, okay, whether it is hard or soft. So based on all these things, minerals can be identified. So your next question is, what are ores? Children, when we just go out, we can't just get a lump of gold or a big lump of iron just like lying in the ground. Okay, it is always mixed with other kinds of rocks. As you can see here in the image, you have a rock with gold in it. The next one shows a rock with iron ore, with iron, and the third one shows a rock with copper in it. So these rocks contain useful metals in a large quantity, along with many unwanted substances. So these kinds of lumps of rocks which have got enough metal or metal compounds which can be extracted and utilized. These kinds of lumps are called ores. Now let's go into the types of minerals. We have got three definite types of minerals: the metallic, the non-metallic, and the mineral fields. So let's start off with the metallic. Metallic minerals, children, are composed of one or more metallic elements. Okay, they have got metals in them, maybe one metal or maybe a group of other metals. Okay, and sometimes they are divided into ferrous, which means having iron, or non-ferrous, that means without iron. The chemical name of iron is ferrum. Okay, so if a mineral has got iron in it, it's called ferrous, and if it does not have iron, it's called non-ferrous. On the other hand, we have the non-metallic minerals which do not have metal in them. Okay, they do not serve as raw material for the extraction of metal. Alright, and thirdly, of course, we have the mineral fuels like coal, petroleum, and natural gas, which belong to a third category altogether. Okay, so let us understand the different features of these divisions. Metallic minerals, children, are minerals in which metal elements are present in their raw form. That means these ores can be melted and a new product can be formed. They are generally found in igneous or metamorphic rocks. These igneous and metamorphic rocks are made because of high levels of heat which has molten the rocks, especially during a volcanic activity. They get thrown out of the earth's interior into the surface or near the surface. Okay, and they solidify into igneous or metamorphic rocks. Okay, so these metallic minerals are very high, they have got very high malleability and ductility. So that means that they can be easily turned into something else. You can melt it and you can make something else out of it. Like supposing you have a bowl and you want a pan, so you can melt it and turn it into a pan. Okay, and these metallic minerals generally have a shine, they have a luster. Okay, they are usually hard, and when you hit them hard, they hardly ever get broken. They are very, very hard. They can take a lot of pressure. On the other hand, non-metallic or industrial minerals do not contain any metal substances in them. You don't get any new product after such process. You cannot take marble or sandstone and beat them up and turn them into something else. Okay. These non-metallic minerals are often found in young fold mountains and sedimentary rocks. They are basically good insulators of electricity and heat. They break down easily, all right? They cannot be converted into something else, and they do not have any shine or luster. So here are the differences between each set. Please go through them. All right. So thirdly, we have got the mineral fields, right? So the mineral fields, children, are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. All right. This, it is the accumulation of different land plants, okay, or marine organisms that have died and they have solidified over the years. They have been petrified. They have been under so much of pressure that they have melted. Okay, they have liquefied. So this is slightly different from your metallic and non-metallic kind of minerals. All right. For example, coal, it is made as the product of accumulation of land plants in large amounts. Okay, and over the years there was a lot of pressure on the land, and this dead plants and trees and all, they petrified. That means they became like stone, which turned into coal. On the other hand, petroleum and natural gas, children, are the products of marine organisms. Okay, sometimes of course they are non-marine also, but generally they are of marine origin. Okay, so these natural gases and petroleum, like when marine animals and all die, then they settle down at the bottom of the ocean, right? And there is a huge amount of water on top, and then sand and soil accumulates and keeps on pressing against them, and over time this turns into gas or into liquid. All right, now let's move on to the distribution of minerals. As I told you just now, metallic minerals are found in igneous and metamorphic rocks. The upper picture here shows igneous rocks and the lower picture shows metamorphic rocks. The non-metallic minerals are found in sedimentary rocks like these. So this chart is the same chart that you have in your textbook on page number 68. Please go through this. Along with all this, children, you should remember that there is a certain scale called the Mohs scale of mineral hardness. It determines how hard something is. Okay, how hard a mineral is. So here you have got in this chart, you have numbers from 1 till 10. Number 1 is talc and number 10 is diamond. And in between you have other minerals like gypsum, calcite, fluorite, apatite, feldspar, quartz, topaz, corundum. So talc is very soft. It is used to make talcum powder. Okay, the powder that you use over your body. So this rock talc is ground, made into fine powder. Whereas on the other hand, number 10 is for diamonds. Diamonds are super hard and they cannot be easily destroyed. They cannot be easily broken up or crushed. So they are like the hardest mineral. So this Mohs scale of mineral hardness shows us how hard or soft a mineral is. So that brings us to the end of this section. Please go through it. If you have any doubts, please feel free to message me. Thank you, children.